So when discussing DK Metcalf, defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz said, the thing about him is he's dangerous. You have to cover every inch of the field with a guy like that. Now, can somebody please tell me? Don't we need a guy like that? Why did we draft the Umbrella Man over him?
Everybody doing Dingbat here. So today we have come with the big ass story. Dallas still stinks.
Everybody doing King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing great because we're one day closer to Thanksgiving. I cannot wait to stuff my fat, stinking face. This man can eat. This man is going to eat stuffing, potatoes, stuffing, turkey, potatoes, eggnog. It's going to be a mess. Cannot wait. I'm off keto until Saturday, so I'm a little hyped up about eating, man. We went out today, me and my wife. We did all our Thanksgiving Day shopping, man. The stores are packed. They're packed. People are buying a ton of food. Around here, you're supposed to have like this order where you can have only like 3 families at your house. You're supposed to eat outside. You're supposed to have a mask between bites. I don't think any of these people are following it. Just by the amount of food they were buying, they could feed hundreds of people, it looked like. People are getting ready to party, man. They're getting ready to party. It's Thanksgiving on Thursday. I'm pumped up about it, no question about it. I'll tell you something else I'm pretty pumped up about. My Flick Chat Sports is almost at 400 subscribers. We've only been doing it about 2 weeks. We're almost at 400. I thank you guys so much. If you haven't, click the link in the description. It's free to join. We'll be probably doing another prize this weekend for the picks. But come join me. It's fun. I like it better than Twitter. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's awesome. Speaking of awesome, because I'm on a roll today. Awesome is somebody who wore number 21. Somebody named Eric Allen was an awesome player. One of my favorite all-time players in NFL history. One of the most, I think, underrated cornerbacks in NFL history. Eric Allen is one of 25 finalists to make the Hall of Fame. He is well deserving. He should get in. I think he was so underrated, okay? You had guys back in the day like Darryl Green, big flashy guys like Deion Sanders, and Eric Allen. He was underlooked, but this guy, he could play the run, he could tackle, he could cover, he play man-to-man, he could blitz, he could do it all. Guy get a lot of turnovers. I think he's tied in Eagles franchise history with Brian Dawkins for like 34 interceptions, okay? The guy was awesome. And oh, by the way, he had one of the greatest interceptions for a touchdown I've ever seen. So when I heard the news today that Eric Allen he's one of 25 finalists, he's got to make it. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I fully endorse it. One of the great Eagle players of all time, underrated player. I'll tell you another underrated player because I was talking about him the other day on the Eagles. Now, he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame, but a very underrated middle linebacker was Byron Evans. Another guy, should have been in Pro Bowl every year. Very underrated, but he played on such a good team with so many good players around him. But Eric Allen, he is one of 25 finalists. I'm excited. He better get in. I'm discussing this upcoming week. I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is we're playing at home on Monday Night Football. The bad news, we're playing the Seattle Seahawks. And for whatever reason, we cannot beat this team. This team has dominated us over the course of, it has to be like, the last 10 years? They always seem to beat us and beat us bad. And for a long time, I thought, hey, Seattle keeps beating us because we keep playing them in Seattle. We know how good they are at home. And then last year, they come into Philly and they beat us. I am so sick of losing to this team. It's not even funny. But how can I have hope? How can I have confidence after what I've seen from the Eagles this year? It's very hard. Now, we'll see the way football works, most likely, and the way the Eagles work. It seems like they play up to their competition. I mean, they had a chance to beat Baltimore. They had a chance to beat Pittsburgh. Who knows what they're going to do Monday night? Plus, I think they play good on prime time. They don't play good during the day. So maybe this will help the Eagles out. But I'm sick of losing to this team. And, of course, Russell Wilson scares the hell out of me. He scares the hell out of me. Because the guy's a great player, but his ability to get out of trouble, to keep plays alive, scares me. It scares me. It's something that Carson used to do very well. It's something that Carson, he used to be able to buy time and make plays with his legs. We don't see that so much this year because I think he's a little heavy. But, he always could do that. And I really think if the Eagles had the right wide receivers around Carson Wentz, I think, he would have been even more effective in those moments. But the Eagles, they haven't had the wide receivers. And they had a chance a few years ago to get DK Metcalf. I wanted him. Every Eagle fan wanted him. We couldn't believe when he was still on the board in the second round. And, of course, you know what happens. The Eagles don't take him. They take the umbrella man, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And guess what? He doesn't even play. He doesn't even play. And why do I call him the umbrella man? People want to know. Because at training camp, his mom was walking around, following him all around with an umbrella on a perfectly sunny day. It was a very weird thing. It wasn't a very football player-ish thing to do. It was just kind of weird. So he's the umbrella man, And, it's funny because Jim Schwartz was talking about DK Metcalf today. And he said something that really just bothered me. It irked me. It stuck out to me. Okay? And I'm thinking, if Jim Schwartz knows all these things about DK Metcalf, why didn't the Eagles draft DK Metcalf? I know he's not the GM and stuff, but wouldn't you go and say, look, I'm a defensive coordinator. I know what I'm looking at against guys that I have to cover. This kid's going to be something, okay? So I just want to kind of go over what Jim Schwartz at his press conference said about DK Metcalf because I thought it was interesting, As I said in my intro, he said, you have to defend every inch of the field with a guy like that. Okay, and he spent a whole day game planning around him. And then he said some more stuff I thought was interesting. He said, I think he's a much improved player when speaking of DK Metcalf. I think he's a much improved player in working with the quarterback and understanding Russell Wilson's scrambles and how to get open versus scrambles. Because it's not just about running your route. When it does break down the play and you have a quarterback that can scramble, it's about being on the same page and knowing what spots you want to get to. And he seems much improved. He seems like a much improved player in doing that. He's made a lot of big plays during the year for them. Now, the reason I bring that up and the reason why that stood out to me is because for the last few years, this is what I've talked about with these receivers that the Eagles have had. They don't have guys that know when Carson is scrambled or getting out of the pocket. They don't know how to turn it upfield, get open, make a big play even bigger. You always see the Eagles receivers. They're always standing like this, right? They go, they find their little space, and they sit down and they wait. You never hardly see them throw or catch the ball on the run, in stride, and keep running. That's not, some people will say, well, that's Carson's fault, but some of it's not. Some of it is the actual play design. It's the actual routes. Because a lot of these guys, they just go and you'll see they turn around like this and they wait. The play breaks down. They don't know how to turn upfield. So when I hear that DK Metcalf is good at that, that drives me crazy because that is what Carson Wentz needs. He needs that guy when it's breaking down and he's scrambled. He can throw 60 yards and the guy's wide open down the sideline. It was one of the reasons why I wanted Antonio Brown last year because he's really, really good at doing that. DK Metcalf is a beast and he scares me. And I wonder what's going on with this team in the player evaluation when you can't seem to understand what talent you have on your roster, specifically a quarterback, and then understand what kind of receivers he needs to be good. The guys that fit him. DK Metcalf, perfect opportunity. Now we have to go up against him, and I'm scared. I don't know who's going to cover. You're going to put Darius Slay on him. Slay will do a good job. I just don't know if it's enough. DK Metcalf reminds me of Terrell Owens. He just does. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. But this game's scary. I don't know how the Eagles win this game. I will be doing my preview prediction. I'll probably release it. I'll probably do it really early on Friday before the injury report because I got a bunch of stuff going on Friday. I'm supposed to put up the Christmas lights outside for the kids. So I'm going to be doing that for like hours. So I'll probably put my preview prediction video out on Friday. But yeah, this game scares me. And if for some reason the Eagles find a way to win this game, people are going to start talking about winning the division again, winning the division. Because this would be such a I think this would be such a monumental win if they could pull it off. That, they could win the division. This could change the whole season around if you could win this game. We're going to see. We're going to see what they do. We got Jordan Howard signed. Is he going to be able to come up and play? Or are they going to use Miles Sanders? You should be able to move the ball on this defense. Okay, that should happen. What scares me is Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf. Scared the hell out of me. Not going to lie. And a lot of people, man, they're like, they're looking at Russell Wilson and say, look at Russell Wilson, man. Look what he does. Let's give Jalen Hurts a try. There's a lot of Eagle fans that want to play Jalen Hurts. And I understand it. I mean, Carson's struggling. We keep doing the same thing. Week in, week out, week in, week out. When are we going to do something? When is something going to change? Doug is saying, no, we're sticking with Carson. That's it. It's not even an issue. But I got a feeling, and this is just an opinion, I got a feeling when Doug gets more heat, as people keep complaining about his offense, his coaching, not lack of coordinator, at some point, I think he's going to throw Carson under the bus. I'm just saying, at some point, I think it's going to happen, and they're going to bench Carson, at least for a half or for a game, and give Jalen Hurts a try. I just got this feeling. Now, me personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't bench Carson Wentz, because the reason is this. I think Carson... He's 27 years old. You signed him to a huge contract. You're not going to be able to trade him with that contract. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things. So to me, what the hell is that noise? What are they doing out there? They're always doing something, these kids. But anyways, what the hell is this? Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. These kids are going crazy out there. But no, I mean, the thing with Carson is you're paying him an exorbitant amount of money, okay? You're paying him a ton of money. And I don't think any team, especially the way he struggled this year, is going to want to take on that salary. They're not going to want to take on that salary, and they're not going to want to give you compensation. That is just the truth of the matter, okay? You're stuck with Carson for the next year or two. And look, we know the Eagles. I mean, we saw Jason Peters, right? He was supposed to play right guard. They moved him back to left tackle. He wanted more money. They paid him more money. Once they paid him more money, they started demanding that he stays at left tackle. And now, the Eagles are playing him at left tackle when you have Jordan Mailata, who's been better, and they won't play him, and it's about money. So you think that the Eagles are going to sit Carson Wentz on the bench when they owe him, like $60 million? It's just not going to happen for Jalen Hurts. Now, I think Doug, at some point, is going to pull the trigger and bench him to, clear his mind or whatever. I really think it's an ego thing. I think Doug will do it because Doug cannot admit to himself that he's not a good offensive coordinator, that he's the one struggling with the plays. Not that Carson's not struggling, but that he's struggling. He's going to want to deflect it on the Carson Wentz. And my opinion, my true opinion about the whole thing is this. First of all, this is why I hated drafting Jalen Hurts. This is why I didn't want to do it in the second round. Because I knew you were going to create this controversy. Let me tell you something. Second week of the season, right? Second game of the season, we're playing the Rams. Miles Sanders, he didn't play week one. He comes out, I think his second carry of the game, he fumbles the ball. Rams recover. At that point, people were calling for Jalen Hurts. Carson didn't even fumble. It was Miles Sanders, and they wanted Jalen Hurts anyways. So I knew when they drafted him that the first bad game he had, the first time he struggles, it was going to be a problem. And the voices are getting louder, they're getting louder, and I think at some point Doug caves. Now, I wouldn't do it. I would win or lose with Carson Wentz. I would play all my young guys, forget the old guys. If you win the division, you have something to build on with the young guys and Carson Wentz. If you don't, then you get a high draft pick, okay? Putting in Jalen Hurts I don't think would add a bunch of wins for you. I really don't. I don't hate Jalen Hurts, by the way. People think that I just don't agree with the pick, okay? And I don't know what kind of quarterback he's going to be. But if, let's say the Eagles are losing. Let's say the Eagles lose to Seattle. They lose to Green Bay. They lose to New Orleans. And let's say they lose to Arizona, or they're getting ready to play Arizona. At that point, you're looking at a team that may be picking possibly in the top 3. If you get a little lucky, they could be possibly in the top 3. Okay? If you put Jalen Hurts in that point, there's a great unknown factor. What if he goes out and he plays good? And then you win a game. You beat Arizona. You beat Dallas. Okay? Or something like that. And you still don't make the playoffs. You still don't win the division. But now you lost a top 3 pick, top 4 pick, and you're picking like 10th or 11th. That would be catastrophic, in my opinion, because I either want to win the division with young guys and have something to build on in the future, or I want to get a top tier talent. I don't want the in between. Mediocrity, hell, kills teams, okay? When you're bad enough, when you're bad enough not to go to the playoffs and win, and you're good enough to not get a truly top tier talent changing player. When you're in that realm, it's bad. And there's a lot of teams that spend 30, 40 years there. Now, if I'm the Eagles, I play with Carson. Win or lose, I played out with him. He's got to figure it out. He's going to be the quarterback next year. So that's just the way it is. We talked about the salary cap. So play it out with him. If you lose, you lose. We all know what we've seen from him this year. Do you really have confidence he's going to go out beat Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, Arizona? Do you really have confidence? Because if he doesn't, that's 4 more losses. That's 9 losses. Right? This team, right? Yeah, 9 losses. So, I mean, they could literally go 5-10-1 and get a top tier pick. I think you stay the course, play the young guys, and don't screw with anything. That's how I would say. Now, I don't know that Hurts is going to go out there and make a big difference. I really don't. I just wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't risk it. I make sure that I'm either getting a top talent or I'm getting, getting into the playoffs with a bunch of young guys that I can build on. I mean, look, let's say the Eagles were in a situation. Let's say they did get a top 3 pick, right? Let's say they got the number 2 pick. Somehow they don't win another game. Jags win a couple games here, and somehow the Eagles get that, right? I'm not saying it's easy, but let's just say something like that happens. Or let's say a quarterback drops around the first 4 picks, and you're the Eagles and you're on the clock, and you don't want a quarterback, but all these teams do. Now you could possibly trade back and get a ton of picks, and you could restock the whole team. So what I'm saying is there's no need to change anything up. You either win or you lose with what you got. And if you lose with what you got, you're going to get a really high pick. And if you win with what you got something to build on, as long as it's the young guys. So I'm staying away from putting Hurts in. That said, I don't think Doug sees it that way, and I think at some point he's going to pull the trigger, at least for a game or a half. I expect it to come. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.